I don't like when black people are placed under the umbrella of person of color or people of color. I don't like that. I'm going to give you a story of why I don't like that, and I'm going to just explain. I'm going to explain it all. Explain it all. So, as many of you all know, Mr. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, was pulled over in Miami, Florida for speeding, right? He got pulled over for a speeding violation. During the interaction, he was told to roll down his window. He rolled down the window to hand the officer the license and registration and rolled the window back up. The police, of course, and I understand this part of it, they don't like the window, I guess, being up because I guess they want to be able to make sure everything is in their line of sight. They can see what he's doing in the car because the car windows were tinted. He pulls the window down a little bit and they like, pull the window down, pull the window down. If you don't pull the window down, you can get out the car. And the dude said, matter of fact, get out the car. They snatched Tyreek out of the car, slammed him to the ground, put a knee in his back, arm all twisted all behind his arm, trying to arrest anybody that's around, trying to record, trying to see what's going on. They snapping, right? And one of the officers at first, these are Cuban officers, arresting Tyreek Hill, a black man, right, for a speeding violation, slamming him to the ground, knee all in his back, all of this excessive stuff that they don't even do to people who are school shooters, okay? That's the thing, right? Now, could Tyreek have had the window down, the whole interaction? Yeah, cool, but like to do all of that is just crazily excessive, super excessive force, just being aggressive. And one of the officers, he was a little aggressive, but it probably would have been handled better had the other officers not stepped in. One of the short officer, he had a little Napoleon complex. He started going off, started going crazy. The other ones all followed suit. With his aggression, they all started getting aggressive, snatching Tyreek up, grabbing them all any type of way. He like, yo, I just had knee surgery. Right? And so trying to arrest anybody that's around, observing, trying to see what's going on. And so now I see another camera view where during the situation, Tyreek Hill says, I'm just being a black man, that's it. I'm just being black in America in a nice car, right? The officer says, we're dark too, brother. We're people of color too. Don't play like that special, right? And again, we see this man slamming this man to the concrete over a speeding violation, putting your knee in his back over a speeding violation is ridiculous, right? The man ain't had no weapon on y'all. He wasn't no threat to y'all to be doing all of it. Especially once you get him out the car, all that slamming him to the ground like he just went up and committed a crazy atrocity. That's wild to me. It's way too aggressive, way too excessive. And I've had and listen, me as a black man, if I'm interacting with police officers, I try to get them out of my sight, I try to get the interaction over with as quickly as possible because I've had some negative interactions with police officers just walking on foot. And I never done no crime or nothing, right? But I just like to hear this part here. When Tyreek says I'm just being a black man, that's it. I'm just being a black man in America in a nice car. The police officer says, we're dark too, brother. We're people of color too. Don't play like that special. Talking to him crazy, like it just, whatever. Knee all in his back, slamming him to the concrete. And I say, you know what? This is why I don't play that person of color, people of color game. I don't, right? Especially as it pertains to black folks, black American people. I don't label us as people of color. I call us black. Being a black man and black woman and being a person of color is two totally different things, right? Oftentimes, black folks are treated terrible by other people of color, right? A lot. Because a person of color is anybody that's just not white. A person of color is anybody that's not white. Asian, Pacific Islander, Hispanic, Native American, anything that's just not, as long as you ain't white, you a person of color. And I don't like it too because politicians use that people of color scheme. They use that as a way to place us all under an umbrella and to get out of doing things specifically for black American people. They use that people of color game to not do things specifically for black American people, which is why I never bought into it, right? But furthermore, man, when he doing all this, we people of color too. We dark too. We people of color too. Don't play like that special. I'm gonna say this, man, because these were some Cuban officers arresting him. The Cuban police officer, the short one, he came up being ultra aggressive. Get out of the car. Either you can pull out. He says either you can pull down the window or get out of the car. Don't get Tyreek. You don't get Tyreek the option to pull down the window no more. It just immediately snatches him up, slam him to the ground, talking crazy and all that type of stuff. And I pointed out that they were Cuban because a lot of Hispanics, listen. A lot of Hispanics don't even identify as Hispanic. They don't. They identify as white. I've seen this from, especially my stepmother. When she started, my stepmother's black, but she's worked with a lot of Hispanics, and she's seen it firsthand. A lot of them identify as white, especially when they like Canelo Alvarez. When they look like Canelo and all of that, when they white Hispanics and all of that, look, a lot of them identify as white, not Hispanic. And when I say they identify as white not just on the census. They often assimilate to the beliefs and ideals of anti-black white Americans. For real. Calling black folks lazy, calling us victims, calling us complainers, calling us, naggers, and calling us just, acting like we're just the low lives of society and telling us how their immigrant grandparents came over here and started businesses and we haven't done nothing and all of that. And they fail to leave out that a lot of the immigrant grandparents get a lot of loans that black American people do not get. We're not qualified for and all of that. They fail to mention that, but I've seen it, so the tan on your skin don't mean me and you have the same struggle, police officer. That's one. Person of color solidarity does not exist. It does not. Like I'm for real, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Got a humongous Hispanic population. It really don't exist. Because a lot of times I've seen black folks ride out for other people's causes, and when it's time for us for our causes, a lot of people start looking at us like we complainers. Oh, you all just want to be you want everything handed to you. You want handouts. You don't want to work for anything. We start getting talked to like that, like we just lazy. We want handouts. We don't want to work for nothing. We start getting talked to and start having those labels tossed on us. The same labels that anti-black white Americans throw on us they get thrown on us by our person of color, our people of color contemporaries, right? Whether it be Hispanics, Asians, all of that. I've seen it. I've seen the stereotypes placed on our people. Being in school, bro, in grad school, being in school amongst Hispanic students from out the country, Asian students from outside the country, and all of these different people, Arab students from outside the country, the way they speak about black folks and American black people, despicable. And they came over here and was telling us all the stereotypes that they people told about us. We bad people. We steal. We hurt folks. We not good people. We one of the worst people to ever be. We the worst people over here. They was telling them all of that, and they came and saw us at Arkansas State, and they was like, yo, y'all some of the nicest people in the world. So you see how that person of color solidarity work out for us? So all the police officers telling Tyreek Hill, I hope I didn't say Tyreek Evans earlier, telling Tyreek Hill, oh, we people of color too. That don't make you special. We people of color too. Don't play that with us. We're dark too, brother. Listen, no. Yeah, you might got a little tannish hue, but for real, you don't even identify as Hispanic, and you identify and align yourself with the principles and the principles, the morals, the ideals of anti-black white Americans. Y'all assimilate to that, especially because y'all don't want to come over here and seem like troublemakers. You want to fit in, and you want to find another group to denigrate so you can fit in and don't be looked at as an outsider or looked at as an outcast. I be knowing how they be going, man. Like, person of color is an umbrella term, and the racist Cubans in Miami specifically use that to get away with racist behavior quite often, right? They use that when they, we people of color. They use that so they can be racist and then claim minority status to absolve themselves of anti-black racism. They do racist stuff and then claim minority status. We people of color too, to absolve themselves of anti-black racism. And I don't rock with it at all. Being a person of color doesn't exclude you from discriminating against black people. It don't. So all of that, we people of color too, what do that mean? That you ain't gonna do nothing, you don't have no discriminatory, you don't have these prejudices? against black folks because you're a person of color. Come on, man. We know that ain't true. You feel me? Like, ask anybody from Miami. I got friends that live in Miami still to this day. I got friends that frequent Miami quite often on a regular basis, people who live there. Got a family member, one of my family members lives in Miami. They all tell me the same thing. People of color, it's like that don't mean nothing down there, especially them Republican Miami Cubans do not like black people at all. For real, you can, in Miami, you see people of color being racist to black folks on a regular basis. That is not, it ain't even funny how much they be racist to black folks down there. The people of color be racist to black folks like it ain't nothing. To your face. You hear me? I had a girl that went to school with us, Cuban. Her father told her she better not ever date no black man in her life. You see what I'm saying? So, and she was Cuban from Florida, not from Miami, you know, but another part of Florida. So, yeah, man, I cringe when I like, oh, people of color. Like, no, bro, we not in that mix. We're not. And we see it all the time how we get treated differently. Like I said, we've seen people, school shooters, get treated way better than Tyreek was. Yeah, okay, I know some of y'all gonna say, well, he could have just, you know, just kept the window rolled down instead of asking him why he got to roll the window down and all this and all of that. You know, I know some of y'all gonna say that. And me as a person who likes to get my interactions over with police over with as quickly as possible, I keep the window down and all of that. But pulling him out the car and yanking him down and putting your knee all in his back, twisting his arm all behind his back, like he just ran up in a building and was letting off rounds against, you know, kids and innocent people. Like you doing, riling him up and being aggressive and being all roughhousing him. Like he was a dang on menace to the whole society. Like, it's like, what are we doing here? You know, then want to use that, oh, we people of color too, they don't work over here, trying to arrest any person because Calais Campbell, Tyreek Hill's teammate was there and other people was around trying to see what's going on, trying to make sure he all right. They trying to tell him, leave. Getting mad because they're there. They don't want nobody to see what's going on. They getting mad because anybody is looking at them while while they're abusing their power, being unruly, and just being extra, being over the top for no reason, you know? So I cringe too when people talk about this black and brown coalition, because again, a lot of people do not be riding with black folks the same way we have rolled for other people historically, unless they can get some benefits off of something too. A lot of times it don't be like that. We don't be getting the same love that we be giving out a lot of times, man. A lot of times we be standing by ourselves. And so when people holler, oh, you know, people of color, I never, like, as I got older, I knew that was a con game. People of color. A lot of politicians use that label to try to get out of doing things specifically for black folks in general. And they'll just make, oh, we did it for people of color and we don't get nothing. You know, Asian folks get this, that, and the third, or another group of people get some benefits, and then we just left out, you know, all in all, right? And then on the other end of it, we all lumped into this umbrella. I'm sorry, we lumped into this umbrella of people of color, but we getting treated terrible by other people of color. Like, what is going on here? You know, and this ain't Mac. Oh, saying I don't like these other people. I love everybody. I love everybody. Love everybody that love me and give love to me. But I don't like nobody doing my people wrong or doing stuff they wouldn't do to other people who have committed atrocities.